Okay, welcome to Module 4. The groups have already been assigned for the Module 4 group discussion. How you will know which group you're in is when you post your initial post, it'll say. It'll have your name, the day, the time, and then in bold print, it will say group 2, group 4, group whatever. So then you find somebody else for your one reply. You just have one reply mandated this week. This is in your same group. So reach out with questions, but once you post, you'll see what your group is, and once everyone else posts, you'll see their groups too. If nobody in your group posts, you can post to somebody else, but please try to stick to your group because that's kind of fun. Okay, since there is just the one reply though, make sure you go through those prompts for replies. Let's be constructive. Let's be helpful. You're looking at a historical society, and you're explaining why that historical society would be interested in an exhibit about your topic. So here, locally where I live, we have a historical society. And I think they would be interested in an exhibit about the Anasazi tribe that eventually disappeared from this region, I think due to drought. But anyway, so your topic, find a historical society that would be interested in your particular topic, and then explain why they would be interested and what the benefit to the community would be. That's the discussion. Then for the journal assignment, please consult the guidelines and rubric. That is how you have a successful submission. The documentaries are linked. When you click on guidelines and rubric, then there's a list of documentaries. So pick one, and then you analyze it. What point of view is that being told from? So for example, the one about the Bracero program, where during times of war, we needed people to come and harvest the crops, right? And so the Braceros, we invited them, we needed them, people from Mexico to come here and work. Now, if you're watching the news, we want them gone. But during the Bracero program, they were invited. So the title of that documentary is Harvest of Loneliness. Already, you have a clue into the point of view from which the story is being told. And that clues us into bias. And that is not to say that we're looking for bias because we're trying to find something negative. No. Bias it's embedded. It's part of all of us. Every time you tell a story to your friends, every time you post on social media, you're approaching that from your point of view. All of your bias, all of your life experiences, everything we view, everything we say has been processed through this filter of our experiences, our knowledge, everything. And it forms how we see the world, how we see ourselves, how we tell our story. If a story is important to us, how we tell that story. So that's what we're looking for. Bias is not negative. And in the study of history, when we're looking for bias, we're not trying to find something negative. We're just trying to understand what did this author, what are they trying to tell us? And that helps so much because when we understand, okay, this is one side of the story, then we can seek information about another side of the story. Always we want to do that investigation. You guys were talking about that in last week's discussion about when you watch something, you start with a Google search. Lead me to more information. I want to know more about this. That's perfect. That's historical investigation. Obviously, as we go along, we want some scholarly information coming into that. But often a fun little Google search is exactly a launching point to lead us to that scholarly information. The Shapiro Library is a great avenue towards scholarly research. And so as we get farther along toward the Module 7 project, make sure that you've done some searches in the Shapiro Library, that you're familiar. If that's not working for you, please reach out to me because you're going to need some of those resources for your final project. Okay, so check the guidelines and rubric. That is essential for every assignment for success. And then for the discussions, always go through all of those prompts. Go through the prompts for your initial post, Go through those prompts for your replies. It really just helps to have a deeper discussion so that everybody can learn a little bit more. All right, have a great week and reach out with questions.